Hi, it's Kevin. Welcome to Relationship Ready. Today, we're going to uncover a little bit of a myth. Because chivalry is alive. Chivalry is not dead. It's a little changed nowadays, because nowadays chivalry is okay and not just for men to women anymore. It's different. So today we're going to define what chivalry is, talk about how it's different nowadays, and talk about what we can do to actually have more chivalry, surprisingly enough. So, chivalry. The reason why the expression chivalry is dead or chivalry is not dead is because the original chivalry was for knights, noblemen, and horsemen back in the medieval times. But the purpose and the value of chivalry, it was known at that time, and as we came to know it as well too, is in the acts that we do based on the qualities of an ideal knight. And we can all be an ideal knight, no matter what our gender is. And those qualities include honor, include courage, courtesy, justice, and the desire to help the weak, those with less power. Now, aren't those values that we would all like? Aren't those values that in some ways we all have? It depends on whether we nurture them and grow those, and whether we want to define them as chivalry or not. Because chivalry is not just laying a coat over a puddle for a man to have a woman walk over, hailing a cab for a woman. That's how the action of chivalry has played out in different circumstances and over time. But that's not the only opportunities. Chivalry and opportunities for chivalry are around all the time, because what chivalry is, essentially, is having good values and building each other up instead of tearing us down. Building people up is what helping others do. Those who are not as strong in certain areas, lifting them up and bring this along, creating justice and equity. And those are some of the things that we can all fight for. So, we're talking about the definition of chivalry. Part of the definition is helping out a readiness and a willingness to help the weak. Here's the shift. Women are no longer the weaker sex. Guess what? They never were. And the weaker sex was a term that has gone to the wayside, because we are not as binary or as black and white as we once were. Gender is a construct now. But gender's always been a construct. If you just heard about it recently, you can listen more about the gender construct stuff as well too, because we'll talk about that more in some other episodes. But it's also a concept that if you can understand that it's a continuum. And if gender is a continuum, then it is not binary and it is not man and woman. Therefore, chivalry can be in anybody, because chivalry is honor and courage and value. And since women are not the weaker sex, it is also okay to take help. If you're not weak, then it's not offensive. And as men, since in our Western culture and our U.S. culture we've been trained to not ask for help, guess what? Many women are not trained to ask for help either. So it does not make men weak to ask for help as well, because we all have strengths. Maybe you're really good at math, maybe you're really good at sports, maybe you're really good at music, maybe you're more creative, maybe you're a linear thinker, maybe you're a systems thinker. Those are all different strengths that we all have in different ways. And being chivalrous is building people up from their strengths in the areas that they are weaker in, because we all have weaknesses, is helping pull them up or build them up or create some hurdle help so that they can move forward. And either accommodate them to help them with their weaknesses, or to support them and build them up so they're less weak in those areas. Those are all ways which we can be chivalrous. So, part of the work in doing this, and part of the embracing that I'm asking you to do with being chivalry as a positive thing, is to get rid of the assumptions of what chivalry is, get rid of the assumptions of what gender is. Don't just throw them out. Understand, learn, educate yourself. And then understand that building up those who may appear weak in certain areas is an honorable thing to do. And in order to do so, we need to get rid of our assumptions about men and women, our assumptions about gender, our assumptions about power. Because chivalry is about building each other up from your own power, not about being powerful over someone, not about asserting yourself and saying, I am the stronger sex, therefore I'm going to help you. Because the essential part of chivalry is also consent. Consent is essential. If you would like someone to open the door for you, and they're willing to open the door for you, then it's a chivalrous act, no matter the gender. If you do not want them to open the door for you, or you do not want them to hail a cab for you, you do not want them to hold a spot for you in line, then there's no consent. And so it is not possible to be chivalrous, because chivalry needs consent to build somebody up. Because if you don't want to be built up, then you're asserting power over someone else. If they want to be built up, which I'm hoping we can all develop some consent to try to support each other in building each other up. But if you don't want to, that's your choice too. Because we all have the choice to participate in chivalry or not. So, what I would like you to do, if you take on this task, my liege, as a knight, consider what your relationship to the qualities of a knight are. How honorable are you? How courteous are you? How much do you desire and act on raising up those who are weak in areas? What is your relationship to justice? Evaluate that for yourself, and then decide how comfortable you are with using those values and with others who are asserting those values. And how comfortable are you with giving help? How comfortable are you with getting help? Many people can't even take a compliment because it feels like it's not right for you. But there's always something to compliment on, because there's always some true, genuine qualities of strengths that you have, and some true, genuine qualities of struggles that you're not as strong in, and therefore may feel weak. You may genuinely be weak in those. But that doesn't mean that others offering you the opportunity to build yourself up is impolite, is disrespectful. The disrespectful part is if you say, no thanks, and they go, and do it anyway. Then you don't have the consent. That's what makes it not chivalry. It's chivalry without consent. It's not chivalry. It's disrespect. And that's a power move. Supporting each other and building ourselves up and building others up is not a power struggle, but a rising up of chivalry, which is what I'm proposing. So, number one, chivalry is okay. Number two, help is okay. Number three, becoming aware of your strengths and admitting to those, as well as your weaknesses, is okay too. And if we all do that a little bit more, then we can all support each other in our relationships and come to a common understanding, if not an agreement, at least between two people in a relationship, of what's okay or not okay. To speak up, to support, to assert, to demonstrate your honor, to be courteous, and to rise up areas where you're weak and admit to those that you struggle with and need help. So go out there and help others with consent, because that's what chivalry is. Because chivalry is alive. It's okay if we do it. So, what do we talk about today? The definition of chivalry, gender constructs, hopefully taking and giving and getting permission to be okay to support each other and being more chivalrous. Because we are all weak and we are all not weak. And if we allow the vulnerability to demonstrate our weakness, we become more strong and we allow others to build us up. And we allow others to be more chivalrous. So, get out there, everyone. Be a knight and shine. And that will help you be more relationship ready. Subscribe over here and share, support, and comment. If you agree with me, tell me about it in the comments. If you disagree, tell me about it in the comments. Let's have a discussion with ourselves and the rest of the world to build each other up in this relationship that we have so we can be more relationship ready.